we got some stories to talk about. First story. Girl group Sserafim has been teasing their upcoming third mini album, Easy, out on February 19th with a series of photos displaying a variety of looks and concepts. One member in particular has stirred up some criticism. Member Ha Yeon-jin is being criticized for wearing what some may call a do-rag in one of these images. So if you haven't seen it yet, here's the picture. So some fans have defended the artist, saying that it is actually a Louis Vuitton scarf. It's not a do-rag, whereas other fans have responded saying that it shouldn't have been styled that way to resemble one. So Sade, hearing all of this, I actually know that you did an article about cultural appropriation, like back in the day when you were getting started in music journalism, right? So what is your stance on all of this?
So personally for me, I don't have a problem with anyone of any culture borrowing, as long as they know where a certain style or a certain thing has come from, and they just shout it out, pay homage. They're like, oh my God, I was inspired by this person or this style, or it's very obviously tied to that. What I found with this photo was that it does seem purposely styled like a do-rag.
Okay.
So the way it's kind of tied with the back hanging out is very reminiscent of what a do-rag looks like. I'm not gonna blame Yeonjin because I feel like you trust the stylist.
Yes.
And you're like, the stylist knows what they're doing. They're the fashion people.
This is like a whole team decision, right?
This
Like
is a
the
whole
concept
team.
to the styling to obviously her wearing it. It's not just on her. Let's just be clear about that. Yeah.
So I find this happens a lot with high fashion, especially where they take from other cultures and they tend to kind of try to elevate it so that it fits their branding. And I feel like this is what's done here, and it's been done multiple times.
It's not the first time in K-pop we've seen things like this happen.
It's not the first time, and again, it takes a team to kind of point that out and be like, hey, maybe we should be like, this is where the inspiration came from, or just style it differently. Like, you can style a scarf in so many different ways. I feel like this was very mimicking the style of a
it's
do-rag.
intentional.
Yeah, I thought it was very intentional, just to appeal maybe to a certain audience without totally appealing,
Right.
It's kind of like
Subtle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this topic is such a deep one that we can go really deep into it, but I think, it's 2024 now. How do getting influence is one thing, but how do we do it in a respectful way? Because I don't know if the right call is to also be like, you can't do it, gatekeep, and be very strict with the rules, because at the end of the day, we're all living together, we share cultures, things are fluid, so let's find a way to really just do it respectfully, and I think at the end of the day, that's what everyone can just hope for, right?
Exactly.
So let us know what you think.
Moving on to story 2, Universal Music has removed a lot of their music from their artists from TikTok. In case you missed it, on January 31st, music label Universal Music Group announced that it is taking a stand against TikTok and removing all of its artists' music off of the platform. Why?
Why?
Because they were unable to reach a fair agreement on licensing. A lot of K-pop fans were concerned because a lot of groups are under Universal, groups like BTS, Blackpink, and Hyphen, Stray Kids, and IU, and of course a lot more. While the decision was made to protect artists, do you think this move ultimately affects K-pop groups more than Western artists?
Ooh, interesting. Yes, I think it's gonna affect K-pop more than like the Western artists under Universal. Just because if you look at the K-pop ecosystem, like how they release music, how they promote music. Like if you look at that, TikTok has become such an important part of their promo plans. Like if you guys aren't aware of how it works, like in Korea, there are like 3 major broadcasting stations, right? And they do weekly performances, they do weekly shows. So artists, when they release a new song, they come on these shows and they perform their song, and part of that is like backstage they're collaborating with other artists and doing TikTok collabs, they're doing dance choreos together, even like themselves as a group, like they're filming so much TikTok that it's become a huge part. So if their music is being removed from the platform, there's no reason to like promote their songs this way anymore. So that's going to be a huge hole in how they promote music. So it's definitely going to affect the K-pop scene. And this is not the same in the Western music. We're seeing a change. There's more artists that are super active on TikTok, but it's just not the same extent as how K-pop does it.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I think people in the West, like, you want your music to blow up in the West. You know, that's where the scene is pretty much. But I feel like a lot of K-pop groups are trying to move into the West or move into globally. So the way other people are discovering K-pop music, a lot of that is through TikTok. So even like 50/50, their music went viral on TikTok, or New Jeans, a lot of their music. That's how I found about XG through TikTok. So I think for people in the West who are looking for new artists or new music in K-pop, TikTok was their go-to for that.
It's true. TikTok is a launch pad for a lot of artists. So we'll see though, like hopefully Universal and TikTok can reach an agreement soon. A platform being removed in this way will impact them. It's just how much.
Maybe fans can start making slight remixes, chopped and screwed.
There's literally fans in response to this. They've been doing a cappella versions of their Have you seen
No, I haven't seen the K-pop ones, but I've seen a lot of people do like Selena Gomez.
Yes. No, now K-pop fans are like, they're like making. I gotta show you some because I actually linked some.
Yeah.
Like there's some really good ones there.
Oh my god.
The fans are doing the most right
sing?
now. Full on instrumental a cappella style.
Right. Okay. Should we make one?
No.
Dun 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 dun. Doo 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 doo.